Hey everyone, this is Ryan B with their weekly pound yen analysis. This is for the week of December 29th, 2019. If you want to stay up to date on all of our pound yen updates, make sure you hit that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. You can also subscribe to our pound yen playlist to get all those updates exclusively. So we're looking at a large, long-scale descending, broadening channel for the pound yen, with price just recently over the last 3 weeks testing the ceiling here. But it could just be a false breakout, so we're really kind of waiting to see what happens with price. On this chart, I've got my weekly support and resistance lines marked out, and my weekly pivot points, and I've got a fast, a slow, and a medium moving average. So my fast is the 20, it's in blue. My medium's in 50 in the red, and my long moving average is the 200 in green. So we see that price has been testing this 200-week moving average. That's pretty significant, right? That's it hasn't been at this point in years. So yes, that has potential to break through, but because of that long moving average, I do think it's going to have to price it to prove itself a little bit more. I'm not totally convinced. Typically in a downtrend, like, I'm looking for my fast in the bottom, my medium in the middle, and my long term up top, which is exactly what's happening. So this is for me in the very, very, very long term of things is a downtrend. And typically I look for pullbacks to the 50 for a good place to sell. And now it pulled all the way back to the 200. So, if you want to be conservative, this is at this point is where you wait and see what happens. If you want to be a little bit more risky, you can decide to make a play. However, price is sitting right here on this channel line, right underneath the 200-week moving average, and it's kind of in a thick zone of support and resistance. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens this week, see how price action proves out. Let's go ahead and look at the daily for more of our day trading options. Okay, so for the daily, we've got the reverse. We've got, my moving averages are all saying bullish. So I've got my fast on top of my medium, on top of my slow. And we see price recently touched down off this 50 moving average, then shot back up. So, this is a really good testing point. Will price hold at this 144 range? Or are we going to see more, up movement? So if I'm going to sell at current price, I'm going to sell here at about the 143.31 mark, and I'm going to put my stops either above this 144, or I can choke it up and play it tight above the last high at 143.71. Or if I'm going to buy, I'm going to wait for price to dip back down a little bit to the 142.50 area. And if we look at what those are for support and resistance, so usually every week you see price move from the pivot zone to either support and resistance, and then make its next big move. So it depends on whether you're buying or selling. You want to, if you're buying, you want to wait for price to come back closer to weekly S1 before you get in, or if you're selling, you're going to want to wait for price to move to resistance and then sell, because then you're selling those rallies. But now, one thing that concerns me about this uptrend, so it has a lot of velocity, it took off really far. However, these really steep trends aren't sustainable, right? They need to kind of fall back over before they continue up. So we could see price simply trail back down to weekly S1 towards this daily average. If I was to look at this closer at the 4 hour, let's look at the 4 hour. So if I'm day trading, really this is plenty of enough of a time zone, because this goes back all the way to September. So here really you've been wanting to buy since September, right? So you have to be aware of what time frame you're trading on. So we've got that lower trend going on. Let me go ahead and draw a parallel trend channel. And we see these are the planes that price has been moving on. Interesting. Looks like price is just topping out right there at this upward trend channel. So even if price continues up over the next couple of weeks, I think we can see a fall back down, possibly all the way to weekly S2 at this 140 45 mark. And then really, that makes sense because look at how long price stalled here. So if I am buying, waiting for price to come back down here gives me a great opportunity. You want to make sure you're buying the dips and not buying at these peaks, right? Because once trends already shot that way, and then you're like, oh, I need to get in. A lot of times you're already too late, so you want to wait for the dip. Similar to back here, right? Big bull shut up. And if you bought here, yes, you'd eventually get profit, but then you're waiting for days for price to kind of come back, come back around. So you really want to make sure you get in the dips and the rallies. All right, so that's our weekly analysis for pound yen. Look for some crazy action, possibly back down to weekly S2. And then as we go into 2020, we could see some real fireworks from this pair. All right, talk soon. Bye.